Most celebrity stories begin with excitement. This one began with shattered glass. And what happened afterward is the reason millions of people across Asia couldn't stop talking about actor Zhang Linghe. In an entertainment industry often criticized for being cold, commercial, and transactional, one unexpected incident revealed a side of celebrity culture that few people ever get to see. It wasn't a scandal. It wasn't a controversy. There were no public feuds, shocking revelations, or viral rumors. Instead, it became one of the most heartwarming stories of 2026. And it all started with a fan event that went terribly wrong. On May 31, 2026, rising Chinese actor Zhang Linghe arrived in Nanning for what was supposed to be a routine promotional appearance for the eyewear brand Molson. At the time, Zhang Linghe was enjoying the biggest wave of popularity in his career. His performance as Zhang in the hit drama Pursuit of Jade had captured audiences across China and beyond. His fan base was growing at an incredible rate, and thousands of supporters were eager for a chance to see him in person. For many fans, this wasn't just another celebrity event. It was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Some traveled hundreds of miles. Others boarded overnight trains. Many spent significant amounts of money on flights, hotels, and transportation. Some even took time off work or skipped classes. All for a few precious moments with the actor they admired. No one could have imagined how quickly that dream would turn into a nightmare. Hours before the event officially began, massive crowds had already gathered outside the shopping mall. Videos later circulating online showed scenes that looked more like a major concert than a simple promotional appearance. Fans packed shoulder to shoulder. People pushed forward. Everyone wanted the best possible view. As anticipation grew, so did the pressure. Then, in a matter of seconds, everything changed. When the mall doors finally opened, the crowd surged forward. The force of thousands of people pressing toward the entrance became too much. The building's main glass doors suddenly shattered. What had been an atmosphere of excitement instantly transformed into chaos. People screamed. Others ran. Many didn't even know what had happened. They only knew they needed to get away. According to reports, several people were injured by flying shards of glass and debris scattered across the ground. 5 individuals reportedly required medical attention and were transported to a local hospital. For those who were there, the scene was terrifying. A day that was supposed to create happy memories became something they would never forget for entirely different reasons. As safety concerns escalated, organizers faced an impossible decision. Continue the event and risk further injuries? Or cancel it and disappoint thousands of fans? Ultimately, there was only one responsible choice. The event was cancelled. From a safety perspective, it was the correct decision. But emotionally, it was devastating. Imagine traveling across the country, booking hotels, purchasing expensive tickets, planning your entire schedule around one special day, and then watching it disappear in an instant. Many fans were heartbroken. Others wondered whether anyone would take responsibility for the money they had spent. What happened next surprised almost everyone. Because instead of releasing a brief apology and moving on, Zhang Linghe's team did something few people expected. they announced that fans who had traveled to Nanning specifically for the event would be compensated fully, not partially, not symbolically, fully. At first, many people assumed there would be limitations. Maybe only certain expenses would qualify. Maybe there would be strict conditions. Maybe reimbursement would be minimal. But as details emerged, fans realized the commitment was much larger than anyone had imagined. Effort, hotel costs, high-speed rail tickets, taxi fares, transportation expenses, accommodation costs. The team pledged to reimburse the expenses fans had incurred while traveling for the cancelled appearance. The offline event was also transformed into an online livestream so that Zhanglinghe could still interact with supporters despite the circumstances. The announcement quickly spread across social media. And while many people praised the compensation plan, what happened afterward would leave an even stronger impression. Because the story wasn't really about money. It was about something much more meaningful. A fan later shared her personal experience online. While submitting her reimbursement request, she included a casual note explaining that the refunded money would be used to buy a toy for her daughter. It was just a small comment. A simple piece of information. The kind of detail that most companies would completely ignore. After all, reimbursement departments process hundreds of requests. Their job is usually straightforward. Verify the information. Approve the payment. Transfer the funds. End of story. But this time, something different happened. When the compensation arrived, it didn't come with a generic payment description. Instead, there was a special message. The reimbursement was described as a belated Children's Day gift. A simple sentence. Just a few words. Yet those few words changed everything. Suddenly, this wasn't merely an administrative transaction. It wasn't just numbers moving between bank accounts. Someone on the team had actually read her note. Someone had paid attention. Someone had taken the time to respond as a human being rather than as a corporation. Imagine opening that transfer notification. Imagine realizing that a stranger had remembered what you wrote. In that moment, the reimbursement became something more than compensation. It became kindness. The story quickly spread across social media platforms. Thousands of people were moved by the unexpected gesture. Many commented that what touched them wasn't the money itself. It was the thoughtfulness behind it. Because in today's world, genuine attention often feels rarer than generosity. And then another story surfaced. One that made fans smile even more. A second supporter posted a screenshot of her reimbursement claim. According to her submission, her expenses totaled exactly 290 yuan. Not 289. Not 291. Exactly 290. That was the amount she expected to receive. But when the payment finally arrived, she noticed something unusual. The transfer wasn't 290 yuan. It was 299 yuan. Just 9 yuan more. An insignificant amount financially. Yet somehow, it carried emotional weight. Many fans immediately recognized the symbolism. In Chinese culture and online fan communities, certain numbers often carry positive meanings and good wishes. Whether intentional or not, the additional amount felt like a small blessing. A tiny gift. A subtle reminder that someone had put thought into the process. Again, it wasn't about the money. It was about the message. One fan summarized the feeling perfectly. She wrote that she had never seen a celebrity team handle a crisis in this way before. And many others agreed. Typically, when events are cancelled due to safety concerns, any compensation that follows tends to be purely procedural. Necessary. Professional. But impersonal. What Zhang Linghe's team created was something entirely different. They transformed a routine reimbursement process into a series of human moments. Moments that fans would remember long after the financial transactions were forgotten. Of course, the Nanning incident also raises important questions. How could crowd control have failed so dramatically? Could organizers have anticipated the turnout? Were sufficient safety measures in place? Those discussions remain important. After all, the injuries sustained during the incident should never be overlooked. But alongside those questions emerged another conversation. A conversation about empathy, about responsibility, and about how public figures choose to treat the people who support them. In an age where celebrity interactions are often filtered through marketing campaigns, public relations strategies, and carefully managed images, this story felt refreshingly genuine. That is why the incident remained in the headlines long after the broken glass had been cleaned up. People weren't talking about the accident anymore. They were talking about the response. They were talking about kindness. They were talking about the small details. The Children's Day message. The extra 9 yuan. The effort to make every affected fan feel seen. Because sometimes the moments people remember most aren't the grand gestures. They are the tiny ones. The ones that prove someone was paying attention. And perhaps that is why this story resonated with so many people. It reminded us that behind every fan account is a real person. Behind every reimbursement request is a real family. Behind every celebrity is a team making choices that reveal what they truly value. For many observers, the Nanning incident became more than a story about a cancelled fan event. It became a reminder that compassion still exists in places where people least expect to find it. And in an industry often criticized for being driven by profit, publicity, and image, that reminder may have been the most valuable gift of all.